Hello, everyone. Welcome to our fifth webinar in the Scale Up Thursdays series. Today we have Samantha Bowman with us, who's going to be talking to us about Marketplace and CoSell.
Perfect. I can jump right in. Can you all hear me? We're good?
Thanks, Sam.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for having me. As Kabir said, I'm Samantha Bowman. I'm on the Microsoft for Startups team. I am based in the US. I'm actually in California, so it is dark here right now. It's an evening time, but normally it's sunny and beautiful. But I'm excited to be with y'all today. And what I'm going to chat with you about is how to go to market with Microsoft. What does it look like as a startup to leverage our 3 channels? And then talk to you a little bit about what it means when we all say, hey, we want to co-sell with you. So we'll jump right in. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And I would, let me give me a second real fast and do this. And we'll put it in presentation mode and we should be good. Okay. So let's see here. Today specifically, again, we'll just talk a little bit about kind of your journey as a startup, what we're trying to do to kind of orient you on this, on how we support you from the go-to-market perspective, talk a lot about the commercial marketplace, a little bit about Partner Center, what that is and that tool means for you, and then kind of some moving forward pieces for you as you continue your partnership with Microsoft. So first, I love to always kind of orient on this slide. When we were building out the Microsoft for Startups program and trying to figure out, okay, what can we really do for startups to drive impact? There's no shortage of things. But when you boil it down to what we want to offer is we really want to make sure you as a startup have access to technology. So that means, obviously platforms, tech experts, anything we can do to help you build your solution. And then the other side of that is, okay, how do we then get you access to customers? Because you need to start generating revenue. And so that's obviously the access to customers is the side of the house I'm going to be chatting the most about with you tonight. That's my bread and butter within the company. That's constantly what I'm thinking about is how do we get startups access into our enterprise customers or SMB corporate customers to help you drive revenue and then grow your awareness and success as an organization. So as we go through this, the journey that we have with startups is kind of models those 2 things, right? From getting you access to technology and getting new customers. But really, I would say it's in 3 different phases. The first being, we want to help you rapidly innovate, right? So that's kind of that technology piece, getting you access to Azure, to other licenses and things like that, and tech experts to help you. But then when you go to market, where we want to orient you is to our commercial marketplace. And you'll hear me say this multiple times throughout this presentation today, but our commercial marketplace is kind of your launch pad to go to market with Microsoft. So it's going to be the key tool that you'll use to help you scale with Microsoft into enterprise. And so that'll be the first, that's kind of when we say we want to help you go to market, that's the first step. And then we also want to go from that point to helping you accelerate sales. So as a company, we have different programs and go-to-market benefits that are all designed around trying to help you generate more revenue, get access to more enterprise customers, and close deals faster. So the 3 channels. So one of the things that I feel like as a startup, you depending on how many conversations you've had with Microsoft or one representation of Microsoft, you've probably heard of this term called CoSell. And I hopefully can demystify this for you guys. But essentially, when we say co-sell with Microsoft, there's actually 3 ways that you can sell with Microsoft or co-sell. And again, they all start with our commercial marketplace, but they're represented here in these 3 circles. So the first way that Microsoft can help you sell is directly to enterprise through our commercial marketplace. So we'll talk more about this in the next slide, but we have the commercial marketplace that sells first-party products and third-party products, like all of your solutions, right alongside each other to all of our customers, okay? So that's one of the first ways that we can actually help you sell with Microsoft. The second channel that we can help you co-sell or sell into is through our partners. So this is an awesome channel. I love this channel for startups because I think it's an awesome way for you to actually scale your sales strategy and get into new geographies through these channel partners with slightly less liability, right? So instead of you having, if you were interested in going to new geography, instead of you having to stand up an entire sales team in that geography, you could create a like strategic partnership, and a cloud reseller or a managed service provider or a systems integrator could sell your IP solution into their customer base as well. And what's awesome here is Microsoft has so many channel partners, right, that resell Azure and all of our products, that we want to match you up with the right partner so that you can jointly sell with them into markets as well, and reach more customers that way. So that's the second channel of which we can help you facilitate co-sell. And then the final channel is that smaller circle, where it's called this like seller engaged co-sell. So this is where you would actually sell alongside Microsoft sellers. So there's 40,000 Microsoft account executives aligned to some of the most strategic enterprise and corporate customers all over the world. So we have actually created as a company an incentive for our sellers to sell with the certain qualified IP solutions that are built on our technology. And this is a huge differentiator, right? As you think about some of our other competitors or other cloud providers, this is something that we're doing where it's been in play now for about like 6 or 7 years now, this idea of selling alongside our sellers, where we actually say as a company, we really want to be able to bring the best of the best to our customers. And we as a company do not always have a full suite of solutions to bring to our customers. So we want to enable our ISV partners to build IP solutions on our platform that we can say, hey, together with our products, they can really round out what you need as a company. And so that's why we're saying to our sellers, hey, if you work with these qualified these qualified ISVs, some of which are startups, right? You guys, we'll actually help you retire your quota faster to sell with our sellers. So again, to reiterate, when someone from Microsoft talks about co-selling with us, there's actually 3 ways to sell, right? So we can help you co-sell through our marketplace, we can help you sell with our partner channels, and then we can help you co-sell with our Microsoft field sellers. That tends to be the slide tends to get a lot of questions. So I'm going to pause for just a quick second and see. I saw Emily joined right before I started. I don't know, Emily, are there any questions in the IM window yet?
I am just taking a look. All right, there are no questions yet.
Okay.
But yeah, feel free to post them there, and I'll keep monitoring.
Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit more about the commercial marketplace. So when I say that's your launch pad, it's the fastest way to sell direct, or the first, like the largest circle when we say we'll help you co-sell. So first, the commercial marketplace, what is it? So there's Microsoft has one marketplace with 2 storefronts. And so in this slide, you can see on this design over here, there's one marketplace, but the 2 storefronts are AppSource or Azure Marketplace. And you guys would decide to publish your solution in whichever storefront based off of who your target market is. So Microsoft AppSource is for more industry focused or line of business solutions that are targeting business decision makers, whereas Azure Marketplace is for more like workload or building blocks for Azure, targeting developers or IT pros. Okay, so it's up to you. You will publish your solution in the same tool, which is Partner Center. And then you can decide, do you want it to go into AppSource or you want it to go into Azure Marketplace? You can absolutely have your solution in both, but it just depends on, again, who your target market is. And then once you're in our commercial marketplace, like I said, this is where you start your go-to-market journey with Microsoft. And you, as a startup, there are so many advantages for you to actually be in our commercial marketplace. One, again, it's how you start your journey. But two, we have over 4 million monthly active users in our marketplace that sell, and we sell into over 140 different geographies all over the world. This is where we drive our customers to come and purchase first-party products. So again, your solution will be listed right along our first-party products. And then by utilizing our marketplace, it's going to help you kind of, again, unlock more growth opportunities, reduce cost, time to market. And as a startup specifically, the things that I love the most, that's a benefit for you, is by publishing an offer in our marketplace and actually using it to transact. So if you publish, I guess I should backtrack a little bit. When you publish an offer in marketplace, there's really like 3 different types of listings you can have in our marketplace. The first listing is you can just have like a general contact me. So it's kind of just like, hey, we're here. This is who our company is. This is what our solution does. And it's just to drive awareness. And if there's any sort of like click-through leads that would get generated from our marketplace, they would be passed to you for you guys to action on them, but your sales would take place outside of our marketplace. The second type of listing is a trial. So if you wanted to set up a 1 week free trial or whatnot on our marketplace, a customer could come find your solution and try it for free, but to actually procure your solution, they would have to go through your own sales channel. And then the third way is to transact, where a customer could actually purchase your solution on our commercial marketplace. And that is the best case scenario for you as a startup. And this slide will kind of talk you through why. But as a startup, if you transact on our commercial marketplace, that actually will help you ease procurement into enterprise, because what it does for that enterprise customer is it actually allows them to purchase your solution on Microsoft paper. So you don't have to go through any enterprise procurement cycle. You get to benefit from the relationship that Microsoft has with that enterprise's procurement team, and essentially gets to bypass that. So when you think about that as a startup, that is often can be one of the most lengthy things that you have to go through when you're trying to actually secure the enterprise customer. So by being able to leverage our relationship with them, you're closing that deal so much faster. So they would actually go ahead, purchase your solution. It would then, roll up into their bill with Microsoft. They'll pay Microsoft, and then there's the Microsoft will turn around and pay out you on a monthly basis for the transaction that you had through our marketplace. So this one, again, as I talk with startups all the time, like this is such low-hanging fruit, such a phenomenal way for you to help bypass this. And a lot of times when we're talking with enterprise customers, they do love the idea of working with startups. I can't tell you how many of our strategic enterprise customers that we meet with to chat about like, hey, here's these awesome innovative things that some of our startups are doing. We would love to get them connected with you. One of the first things they ask is like, well, can I just, because you're partnering with them or they're built on Azure, can I just purchase them through my relationship with you guys? And we want to be able to say yes every time. So by being able to transact, by having a transactable offer on our marketplace, the answer to this is yes. The next thing about this, as I've kind of already touched on, is by being in our marketplace, what this does is it starts generating new leads for you. So with over 4 million monthly active users, again, we're running campaigns to drive our customers to the marketplace. We offer you guys go-to-market benefits where we'll help you generate awareness for your offer in our marketplace to try to get traffic there, so that you then it'll just be like another lead generation channel for you that you can then take and nurture those leads, action them, and then hopefully drive them to a closure at some point as well soon. In addition to the other thing that I love about the transacting through our marketplace for our startups is that it actually does save you on some billing and payment tools. I know a lot of our startups use companies like Stripe for their billing and payment, and that's totally fine. But there's actually an opportunity here for you to leverage, like you could leverage our marketplace for all of your billing and payment if you wanted to. And what Microsoft has is there's a rev share model, obviously. So right now, by publishing in our marketplace, there's a few different rev share percentages. So the standard is 80-20. So for every sale, you keep 80%, Microsoft would take 20%. And then the next tier would be 90-10. And the next tier is the 90-10 tier is the one that for startups, we would hope to get you to, because you'd be to a point where you're so integrated with our technology within Azure that you would unlock that opportunity to get that 90-10 rate. And I know sometimes when I'm talking with startups, to 80-20 can be a tough pill to swallow, but when I chat with them, like, you get to set your price in our marketplace, so you can price your solution accordingly. And there's all different types of opportunities that you can have even within the marketplace. Like if you wanted to do maybe a special price for a specific enterprise customer, you can actually create like a private offer that is only for that specific enterprise customer to see. So there's some different things that you can do to actually, again, set prices, that'll accommodate you for that rev share fee. But ultimately, it is something that you can use, like by using our tool, you don't have to go out and actually like have these other procurement sites as well. So you wouldn't have to use Stripes. And then the other thing is, like I said, when you think about those 3 concentric circles to co-sell with Microsoft, so there's the direct option, which is through our marketplace. The second one is through partners, right? So by publishing a transactable offer in our commercial marketplace, that's what actually starts you down the path to develop these channel partners. So what we've done as a company, Microsoft has told our channel partners, hey, if you resell a transactable IP solution from our marketplace, we'll actually pay you an incentive. So Microsoft is incentivizing our channel partners to resell the IP solutions in our marketplace that are transactable. So when you build out an offer in our marketplace and you're going down the path to make it transact, then you can actually just check a little box that say, yep, I absolutely want to make my solution available to all the resellers and cloud solution providers all over the world. And that will essentially make your solution available to them, kind of in like when they log into their storefront, it'll show them all the different solutions that are available, and they can select it and start to resell your solution and create a partnership with you to help you grow into new markets. So that's one of the things, again, the benefit for you as a startup to transact through our marketplace are huge. It'll help you, again, I can't stress enough, ease procurement. It's going to help you generate leads. It can replace some of your other tools that you're using for payment and processing. It'll help you scale into, even with that, 140 different countries, and then it can give you an opportunity to grow into some of your channel partnerships there. Additionally, when you think about, so we want to help you sell from the marketplace, channel partners, and then with our field sellers. And really within the marketplace, again, it starts your process. And the more that you do in our marketplace, you can kind of see here, so there's the list, trial, and a transact option. There's a bring your own license there as well. But like the more, like these are the different listing types, the more like the type of listing that you build, and the more you do, the more you unlock in your marketplace rewards. And so I had mentioned at the start of our call, what we try to do as a company is help you get access to customers. And once you start your go-to-market journey, we want to give you marketing benefits that are going to help you attract customers, right? So this is what we call our marketplace rewards program. So by being in the marketplace, you can unlock things like a press release or a social promotion, or you could even do like you could secure a spot to be like a featured solution in our commercial marketplace. So you could be on like one of the homepage or one of the industry categories. There's even opportunities that, depending on how successful you are by transacting through our marketplace with your customers, you could be featured in key events, first-party events. And this is where I love to see this, because again, the more that you do, it's kind of like an airline model, like a rewards model. The more you do, the more you unlock, and you have access to at Microsoft, which is really cool. And so I think this is one of the things that I feel like our startups can really benefit from, because I know you all run pretty lean. And any more marketing opportunities that you could get to leverage Microsoft's brand, our channel, and our ecosystem to drive awareness and generate leads for you is huge. And so just by publishing in our marketplace, you get opportunity to do that. Then all of the marketing that we do is try to help you better co-sell with us to all of our customers as well. Let me pause here again. Any questions, Emily?
We do have quite a few questions,
Okay,
which is a good thing. Okay, so first question. Is there a way that we need to engage with the co-sellers? And then I think the follow-up from that as well, do we need to train them? Do we develop the marketing collaterals together? Or is there a process for ensuring the marketing collaterals meet a specific standard?
Yeah, so a couple of things. When you're first, like when you're targeting, like when you're co-selling with us just directly, so through the marketplace, you're responsible for your whole offer. So like you do all of the, like you create it. So I would highly recommend that your marketing team would be the one that's actually creating the offer, that's writing up the listing with your target audience in mind. There is also an opportunity for you to add additional collateral to your listing. And when you're completing your offer, it actually allows you to publish. So you'll go into Partner Center. That's the tool I had mentioned, to kind of do all of this. When you're creating your offer, you're going to create the offer to publish externally. You will also use that same offer to publish internally to all of our field sellers and our channel partners. Okay. So you guys own all the collateral and the way that you position your solution to all three of those channels, directly to the enterprise customers, to all the partner channels, and then even all the collateral that you would use to educate our field sellers about your solution as well. So yes, we do want you to understand, like, hey, there's like a whole best practice guide around like, hey, how to best position your solution in our marketplace, and here's some key tips and things to think about. And then there's also, as you go through the process to fill out what we call the CoSell collateral to educate like our field sellers about your solution, there's a bunch of recommendations and guidelines around like, here's how you want to think about positioning your solution, because this is what our sellers are thinking about when they're working with their customers that are in retail or IoT or whatnot. So we would equip you with the right documentation and best practices to make sure that you're filling those things out correctly. And then as it goes to training, when you're selling with our field sellers, yes, absolutely. So if you get down to the point where you are actually doing the working with our account executives to go into a large enterprise organization, one of the things that we have here is that there's like a bi-directional lead sharing tool that you would get access to, where you'll actually, let's say we'll go for the opportunity where it's like, hey, you're a startup in retail and you have an opportunity with Nordstrom's, and you have talked with a few people at Nordstrom's, but you're just kind of you're at a standstill. You know that they're a Microsoft customer. You would love to partner with the Microsoft account team to see if you can really go deeper and actually drive this to closure. So you could upload that opportunity. It would then get routed to our field sellers team. They would have the opportunity to accept or decline it, because they might say like, oh, great, yeah, I would love to, or, I'm not going to be able to help in this scenario, and so they would decline, but, let's go with the happy path, say that they accept it. What would happen at that point is you guys would connect to talk about, most of the time with the way this works is you get on the phone for, like a 15 to 30-minute conversation with the account executive, talk them through what your solution is, what the benefit it is to Nordstrom's, what help you need, kind of where you're stuck. And then you guys go together to that customer, where the account executive would then say, awesome, let me make some introductions for you, or let me go talk to the Nordstrom's team about the solution and see if we can drive it to closure, right? So there is some general training. I will say, again, it just depends on, every scenario is different. That's like the one that's, the one I just described is kind of like the happy path with everybody's involved. I will tell you, just to set expectations appropriate too, our account executives are so busy. So the amount of things that they have to do, and the amount of things that they need to be responsible for, they are selling first party products, but because we incentivize them to also sell with you all, it is to their advantage to work with you. So we want you to be really crisp and clear on like what you need, how they can help, And so the more articulate you are about your solution and in the collateral that you upload that they will see first, the better it's going to be, because it'll be the lowest friction for them to be able to be successful with you, if that makes sense. So that was a very long way to answer that question, but hopefully it helped.
All right, we have more.
Okay.
If you're happy to keep answering.
Yeah.
What is the starting point to become eligible for the program?
The starting point is to actually have a solution, that you can publish into our marketplace. To be transactable, you'll have to have some of your solution built on Azure. To do the field co-sell motion, where you're actually selling with our Microsoft sales team, you'll have to go through a technical validation to actually become flagged as a solution that we would say is co-sellable with our field sellers. So at that point, it is that you have to have a solution built on Azure. Again, it doesn't have to be entirely on Azure, but you do have to be built on Azure. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to take the advantage of our field seller motion. You could still take advantage of selling through our marketplace and with our partner channels. And if you aren't on Azure, though.
Great. All right. So, what is the minimum burn rate required then to get Microsoft to co-sell our product in the commercial marketplace? That was a question.
The minimum burn rate to get you to sell in our commercial marketplace?
Yeah.
There's actually no minimum. You guys could publish a transactable offer in our commercial marketplace tomorrow. You just have to do the dev work, and I can point you at the end of this. I have a bunch of resources that'll point you out to like a publisher quick start guide that kind of walks you through how to start the process to, create an account in Partner Center if you don't already have it. And then it'll walk you through the different listing types, but you can publish a transactable offer in our commercial marketplace as soon as you have the opportunity to do the dev work. Great.
Awesome. All right, next question. When we publish on Microsoft AppSource or Marketplace, should it be a fully self-serve solution, or can it be an enterprise SaaS solution as well?
It could be both. Yeah. I think, best case scenario, we would love it for it to be just like a fully, we love having SaaS solutions in our marketplace, because then it's just, hey, as soon as someone can see it, if it's, running on your Azure tenant, great, they can just purchase it and be off to the races. There are scenarios where, there is some customization that needs to happen. I know that works with some of our startups. That's true. So in that case, you can actually, what you could do for like a transact is you could create a transact like offer that says, hey, what you're transacting is for us to come and kind of do the consultation with you, but we have to do some customization, so because you can't just deploy it directly from the marketplace. So there's some workarounds to how you do it depending on what you need for your solution. And our documentation talks about all the different ways to think through it depending on what your solution needs. But I would say SaaS is best case scenario, because you can just a customer could instantly purchase and then start using your solution right away.
Great, thank you. All right, you happy to take some more questions?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we've got a few more. Okay, so if a question is, if we consider the case of startups with a portfolio of SaaS products, normally we enter with an enterprise with the most affordable product in the portfolio with the intention to cross-sell later after a positive engagement.
Yep.
In such cases, the value seen from the first deal is less, so the monetary value is less. This often fails to motivate the co-sell team at Microsoft. Are there any suggestions for that?
Yeah, it's tough. So if you're thinking about it, when you're thinking about co-sell in that scenario, you're talking about, the field sellers aren't motivated to sell with you. It is understandable. So the minimum bar for our field sellers to be engaged is has to be a $25,000 US dollar contract value. That's the minimum, right? Now, when you think about it, some of our enterprise account executives have quotas of multi-million dollars. So, $25,000 deal, like a $25,000 contract where they're only going to get quota relief for 15,000 of it, because that's just the way that Microsoft has structured their incentive by working with you. That might not get them out of bed, right? And that's fair. But I will say what we've seen with our account teams, if your deal value is smaller, let's say if it is 25,000, and there's not a lot of lift for them, they don't need a ton from you to, they don't need to do a ton of work to help convince the customer to purchase your solution. And it can be kind of an easy win for them. What we've seen with them, or I've encouraged ours to do, is like make sure that they're aware of the opportunity for upsell, and the opportunity that by coming in here, you see that this could lead to, a $400,000 2-year contract where they're using, this much Azure. So this would help them understand what type of quota relief they could get in the future. So I think it is important to just really paint the full picture when you actually get an opportunity to engage with our field sellers. But it is true, like I get it. There are some that the deals are too small to get them to respond. And again, so it's just helpful to know the minimum deal is 25,000 to actually get them paid out. Anything below that, it would just be them working with you in good faith that there's going to be some opportunity in the future. But I will say there's no minimum value, like no minimum deal size to transact through our marketplace. And it could still be a huge value for our customer, right? So it doesn't matter that our sellers may not get paid out because the deal is too small. The customer still wants your solution, and they could just purchase your solution through our marketplace to make it even easier for them. And then you guys could still have the opportunity for leveraging the field sellers for the future opportunity or the upsell that you see later.
Great. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Next question. Any option for freemium solutions where the first few users are free and an upgrade happens outside the marketplace?
Yeah. I've definitely seen that kind of in like the trial option. So if you were to just publish like a trial offer, you could do that and say, hey, we want to, in this trial, we're going to do it that this many users can get it for free for this long. And then outside of that, they would either have to purchase through your, whatever your normal procurement process is, or you could automatically actually have it then go into contract, with the agreements that you've already put in place. And then that could also be like transacted through our marketplace.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so next one. Do we need to utilize certain Microsoft products to bypass the procurement process? For example, some enterprise clients have data security requirements for procurement. Do we need to be on Azure for that? And what if we're not?
It's a good question. I'm sure there are so many nuances to this. For the data security, no doubt their privacy and compliance team at the enterprise will want to understand what cloud you're operating on. What I love, again, if you're on Azure, this is my plug, it's an easy conversation, to be honest with you, because then we can just say, yeah, they're on Azure, you already are using Azure, so like you're good to go. There are some cases where I absolutely have seen an enterprise come to me and say, hey, this is an awesome solution. I know they're part of the Microsoft for Startups program, but are they on Azure? And I have to come back to them and say, actually, they're not yet. They're in the process of migrating. And then they've said, well, we're fully committed to Azure, so like we can't do anything until they're on it. And so like it's again like it's not an easy like one size fits all answer. But I think the best case scenario for all of us and our customers, because there already are customers of Azure, we know, or of Microsoft. It's even easier when it's like, yeah, we're on Azure, we could deploy on Azure, you can purchase our solution through the marketplace, and then there's no issues.
So basically just be on Azure.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not even in Azure sales.
Otherwise, there's, yeah. Okay, so next question. Can I say the marketplace is more suitable to an end user, so end consumers or corporate type of services? Is that what the marketplace is built for?
The marketplace is for, yes, it's for end users and for our customers, primarily for enterprise and corporate.
Awesome. And a really good question. Does publishing on Marketplace also need to have the minimum 5K purchase of Azure?
No.
No. So you can publish on Marketplace today.
You can publish on Marketplace today. Absolutely. And I'll get in our presentation, I'll get to the point where it links out to all the resources for you guys. But you could publish a contact me listing in relatively no time, and just have your like artifact, your solution in our marketplace very quickly.
Great. And another question, is it also good for SMB focused solutions, or is it really only enterprise focused?
No, it's good for SMB as well. Yeah, and that's specifically because one, a lot of our channel partners target SMB. So when they're looking for IP solutions to bring to their customers, they are incentivized, remember, to come to our marketplace to look for transactable IP solutions that they could sell. Also, when Microsoft segments SMB, we segment all of our customers, but to make it even more confusing, we also segment SMB. So there's SMBC, which is corporate, and then there's traditional SMB. And SMB corporate actually does have field sellers aligned to them. So there are still, while they're not in the enterprise bucket, they are still eligible for like our field co-sell motion, where a Microsoft seller could help you reach into that account as well. So yes, our marketplace is still a great place for SMB as well.
Great. This is a good question, actually. I don't even think I know the answer to this. CSP versus EA. So EA is enterprise agreement. For those of you who aren't familiar, do Microsoft field sellers get incentivized for CSP sells, even if the Azure consumption is not on their customer side?
Yes, so it's a really good question. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the way the incentive for our field sellers work. So the field sellers are incentivized based off the total annual contract value of the opportunity. So I'm going to go back to my Nordstrom's example. Let's say that I am a startup with a retail solution selling to Nordstrom's, and my annual contract value for that opportunity is $100,000. Microsoft has two tranches for incentivizing our sellers. Anything that's underneath $1 million, the seller is going to get paid a flat rate of $15,000 US dollars in quota relief. So it doesn't matter. And that's not money that you pay. It's not money that the customer pays. It's literally Microsoft retiring quota, and it has nothing to do with where the Azure is being consumed. Okay. So if you're the startup and it's a SaaS solution and it's running off your tenant, and you purchase your Azure through CSP, that doesn't matter. And if you have an EA with Microsoft, totally great. The field seller is still going to get the $15,000 in quota relief. The other tranche is if it's over $1 million opportunity of annual contract value, they retire 10% of the total contract value, not to exceed $200,000 in $200,000 US dollars. Again, same thing applies. Doesn't matter how you've purchased your Azure. That is how our field sellers get incentivized. Now, as a partner, and so when I say partner, I'm talking to you as a startup. When you're partnering with Microsoft, there's a lot of benefit of you purchasing your Azure, like getting to the point where we can associate your Azure consumption directly to your tenant. And I know there's ways to do that too, but I would just say, as you grow, like if there's an opportunity, again, I know a lot of startups do start with CSP, so it's a lot of headache. There can be a lot of headache around there. but there are some benefits for you to purchase Azure directly through Microsoft when you get to that point. But it's not limiting for CoSell by any means. And we can do a lot to help try to attribute your Azure consumption, like your Azure purchase through CSP, to make sure that you're still unlocking more benefits for you as a partner. It will not impact the way that our sellers work with you at all.
Great, thanks, Sam. All right, that's all the questions so far.
Well, I think let me share my screen again. I think it had stopped for some reason. Okay, and actually, you know what? I think let me go through the best. Actually, let's see here. I'm going to talk through some of these resources really fast because I want to make sure y'all are equipped to take action. So first and foremost, I will tell you, there are no shortage, if you haven't figured this out, of documentations and resources and links and videos that talk about our marketplace, how to start going to market with Microsoft. I've tried to bring to light all of the most relevant, easy to understand documentation for you. So first and foremost, this Microsoft Learn is going to be kind of the intro to our commercial marketplace, which I've given you in pretty good detail tonight, or this afternoon for you all. But I would say it's, a quick Learn module that'll just kind of help break down some of the key things that we've talked about. This other one, where it's understanding your listing options, this is going to go into more detail about how, depending on how your solution is structured, what type of offer you're going to want to have. And I'm not talking about just, hey, a contact me, list, trial, or transact. This is going to be a lot more based off of like how your solution is built and what products it's run on. Then if you want to learn more about Transact on our commercial marketplace, that link will just kind of go into more detail about like the revenue share, how we do payouts, all that type of stuff to just start to consider. And then when you are ready to actually do like, hey, I do want to publish something, this is our quick start guide, and it'll just walk you through actually getting started within Partner Center and how to publish and do a contact me listing. The other thing I want to highlight here is these commercial marketplace office hours. This is a phenomenal resource for you all. Our marketplace team does such a great job at hosting office hours and recording them, but if you're just trying to navigate and understand our marketplace, you can join and listen to experts and answer some of the questions that you might have as you kind of get going on this journey to actually publish a transactable offer. And then the final thing is the optimization and best practice guide. So this is kind of giving you some of the insight from more of a marketing and sales perspective of like how to best use our marketplace to increase awareness and generate new revenue for you guys just through the marketplace, and then things to like start thinking about. So that's helpful. I will talk very quickly. I want to kind of go into, so I'm going to take the stance that you all are going to go and publish an offer in the marketplace as soon as we get off the phone. So I want to just cover really fast some important things of like how to make sure the tools work for you, because I know that can be kind of confusing when you start down this journey. So let me just pull this up really fast. First and foremost, to really start this path, I've talked to you about it, like Partner Center is the tool of which you'll actually go and publish your offer. It's also the tool that Microsoft is going to use to kind of manage your partnership with Microsoft. It's different than how we work with you as a startup. This is like every ISV, any channel partner, MSP, anybody that's wanting to partner with Microsoft and share referrals and publish in Marketplace has to be in Partner Center. But first, you have to join the Microsoft Partner Network. That's like step one. So when we get off the call, if you haven't already done this, you're going to want to go ahead and join the Microsoft Partner Network. There's a link to it here. Then what you'll want to do is actually enroll in Partner Center. So you can do that by just kind of following these directions here, and you'll go to like aka.ms/join marketplace, and you'll just kind of get started on authenticating and logging in into Partner Center and creating your account. Then you're going to go through the process to actually legitimate your business. And I'm not going to go through every single step. Again, I'll make sure this deck gets out to Emily and the team to give to you guys, because it is so helpful. It gives you guys really clear guidance and even screenshots of what's in there to go ahead and actually make sure you guys get set up in the tools correctly. But after you legitimate your business, you're going to go ahead and onboard your additional users. This is super important. We want to make sure that you're set up with the right permissions, or the people on your team are set up with the right permissions. And then also you add the right, like all your additional roles at your company. And this is important because even like we want to make sure your sales team gets added in here, so that they can see leads and that they have the ability to upload opportunities, that when you guys get to the point of wanting to actually co-sell with our field sellers. So that's going to be important. And then finally, this is where one of the questions was kind of like, how do you know that you're actually building the right collateral and like educating the sellers and all that stuff? You build out a business profile and you manage all of your like collateral and all that type of stuff here. So that'll be your 5th step in actually starting this journey. And then you can go into actually publishing an offer, which again, there's more steps on how to do that, but I want to make sure you guys kind of read through some of the other documentation in more detail before we jump there. So I think that is all I've got for you guys tonight. Are there any other questions?
All right, let's have a look. One more question.
Okay.
Do you have a checklist of activities to do to become CoSell ready?
It's actually all within Partner Center. So let me see if I actually have this slide really fast, and I'll give you guys okay, this is actually a great slide. Okay, so let me share my screen one more time. So when you're in Partner Center, once you get in there, what you're going to see is, again, these are screenshots. So you'll have manage your solution. So you'll have an offer. Once you actually have an offer, you're going to see that there is a like CoSell tab within Partner Center, where it's going to talk you through, okay, if you want to go ahead and start down this process, what do you need to do? So you'll select all the information. It's kind of just like a checklist of like, hey, we need to know this information about you. Your business profile needs to be done. You need to upload your co-sell bomb, and you need to pass, a technical validation, and it kind of just guide you through it. So it's really self-serve, and it's all within Partner Center once you actually get in there. But I can't stress enough, you cannot even begin the path for co-sell unless you have an offer in our marketplace. It doesn't have to be transact, but you have to have at least an offer in our marketplace published and live. And if it's not, you can't even begin your path into the co-sell motion. So, and then as a startup, again, I can't stress this enough. The best thing for you to be to transact through our marketplace. So taking the time to do the work to actually publish a transact offer, to get you then really started on the like co-selling motion with Microsoft. But it is all within Partner Center. And I think this one talks about it as well. So like a 1-pager, presentation deck, case study, all that type of stuff.
Great. I think that answers that then. So they can just access everything in Partner Center.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
That is
All right,
your
questions.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. And if you guys think of anything else, or Emily, there's anything else I can do for you guys, let me know, and I will share this deck, and you guys are free to start getting going on reading all the documentation. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.